Maple mustard pork chops. This is going to become a favorite for sure. Served with chunky sweet potato fries dipped in a tangy chipotle mayo, this is totally weeknight doable. Welcome back to Dinner and Aside. I'm Laura.
And I'm Angie. We're sisters cooking from different kitchens in different states. And we're here to help you find amazing dinners that you love.
Today we're making the most mouth-watering pork chops, so let's get started.
Technically, the sweet potatoes are gonna take longer to cook than the pork. So if you're wanting to time things just right, we've got to get these going. By the way, all of our recipes are made for 4 servings. You can scale that up or down depending on your needs. So I've got 2 large-ish sweet potatoes here. After you've peeled them, just cut them into thick, chunky fries. Think steak fries. The thicker cut keeps the inside creamy while the outside gets crispy. Toss them in a tablespoon of olive oil and season them well with salt and pepper. I'm roasting these at the same temperature that we're going to need for the pork. That's 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Why not make things easy, right? Lay them out on a baking sheet in a single layer. Give them plenty of space. If they're too close, they'll steam instead of crisp. We don't want soggy fries. Into the oven these go for 20 to 25 minutes. Now you can get started on the pork.
You guys are gonna love those sweet potato fries. They are a perfect side dish for our pork chops. Now we're starting with some nice thick pork chops here. Thicker cuts stay juicier and they don't dry out as fast, so always look for a cut that's at least an inch thick. Give them a good sprinkle of salt and pepper. Don't be shy. Pork needs a lot of seasoning to shine. My oven is heated up to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I've already got the sweet potatoes in there roasting, and my trusty cast iron is heating up over medium-high heat. Cast iron will give you that wonderful restaurant quality sear, and it's oven safe. But if you don't have one, you can use any oven safe pan or transfer the pork chops to a baking dish before you put them in the oven. Once your pan's hot, add a little oil and let that heat up. Then lay in the pork chops and let them sizzle for about 3 minutes per side. Don't move them around. Let the pan do its thing to create that beautiful crust. While those are browning, let's mix up our magic sauce. And don't forget, you can find all of the ingredients for this recipe down in the description or on our website of Food Lover's Kitchen. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can feed you many more dinners in the future. In a small bowl, whisk together 1/4 of a cup of stone ground mustard, 1/4 of a cup of pure maple syrup, get the real stuff, not pancake syrup, and a teaspoon of white wine vinegar. That vinegar helps cut the sweetness and balances everything out. You might be wondering why stone ground mustard. I do love Dijon, but stone ground has this great texture that just adds something really special to the sauce. Half of this gets poured over the pork chops now. It looks so good. Flip them so that both sides get nice and coated. This is where the magic happens. Then we're gonna stick them right in the oven next to the potatoes for about 6 to 10 minutes. You don't wanna overdo it. It doesn't take very long. And you really don't wanna overcook it. One of the things that I think people don't like the most about pork is that it ends up being dry and tough, and that's because you've overcooked it. I'm personally going for about 130 degrees internal temperature. That's when the pork's gonna be perfect, and I'm gonna take it out right when it hits that number. That's plenty to cook them through and make them safe. All right, our pork chops are done. Let's get them out of there. Let's let this rest for 5 to 10 minutes while the potatoes finish cooking. Don't skip that. The juices redistribute and the pork stays nice and tender.
I have to admit, I used to really hate pork chops. But once I stopped overcooking them, I found out just how tasty they could be, especially with that magic sauce. And speaking of sauce, it's time for the smoky star of this dish, the chipotle mayo. Now I'm using my mini food processor so that it all gets mixed up really well. There's always effort involved in making a delicious meal, but our goal here is to make it easy and not overcomplicate the ingredients. Dinner doesn't have to be a chore. For the sauce, you'll need 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. Now, go easy on those unless you like a lot of heat. They're pretty spicy. A tablespoon of lime juice and a 1/4 teaspoon of honey. If you like it sweeter, you can add more honey. Blend it all up. This is my favorite sauce to serve with sweet potato fries. You'll see. It's creamy, tangy, smoky, just a little bit of heat. It really balances out the sweetness of the potatoes and makes them more savory. The potatoes are done and they're looking crispy around the edges with just a little bit of caramelization. That's exactly what we're looking for. Let's plate them up. You can serve these however you like. I like to just load them up on a serving platter, and then everyone can grab what they want for their own plates. Drizzle on some of that sauce and sprinkle on a big handful of chopped cilantro. That's perfect. Laura, we're ready to eat.
Pour over some of that remaining sauce. This is gonna be a delicious meal. The pork is juicy and that sauce is unreal. That maple mustard combo is chef's kiss worthy for sure.
And these wedges, they're crunchy on the outside, they're soft on the inside, and that chipotle mayo, it brings it all together.
Before you go, let us suggest even more fantastic dinner combos to try. You can get started right here. Watch and let us know what you're gonna make next.